the bubble?
The polling we had, the numbers we were looking at looked like we stood a pretty good chance of winning. And so when the numbers came in, going in the other direction, when we saw the kind of turnout was occurring in urban areas, which were really fairly unprecedented, it did come as a bit of a shock. So those are the tough kind of losses to have, the ones that catch you by surprise.
Well, I think the surprise was some of the turnout. Some of the turnout, especially in urban areas, which definitely gave President Obama the big margin to win this race.
Voter suppression, they just didn't get it done, right? Congressman Ryan is supposed to be the GOP's heavyweight on numbers. He's the chair of the House Budget Committee, so if he was actually relying on the campaign's internal polling, we should doubt his judgment more than ever, don't you think? Also, Romney and Ryan didn't lose in urban areas. Not only there, they lost among women and young voters, and they lost by a wide margin among moderate voters. There is another revelation from the Ryan interview. Ryan doesn't believe that the GOP's policy had anything to do with the loss.
I think we ran a great campaign. We made a big campaign about big ideas. We gave the country a very clear choice. I respect the fact that the process is done, that the president won the race, and I congratulate him on the race. I don't think we lost it on those budget issues. I think people, especially on Medicare, we clearly didn't lose it on those issues.
On one hand, he says that they offered the country a very clear choice, but then he claims they didn't lose the election on budget issues. Congressman Ryan is wrong. In exit polls, 60% favor tax rates increasing either for everyone or for those making more than $250,000 a year. As for those urban areas, Romney and Ryan lost. There is an obvious connection to the Republican policy. African Americans, Latinos, young voters, they just simply do not buy Ryan's approach, and that is every man for himself. Let's turn to Ohio State Senator Nina Turner. Senator, good to have you with us tonight. I think this is important because this is an admission that their voter suppression did not work, and turnout does work. And all of the talk before the election did connect with people. Information is power. Motivation is what makes it happen. Ryan doesn't see a connection between his policy proposals and his tickets and the GOP ticket defeat. What do you make of that?
Well, I have two words for Congressman Ryan and the other GOP who are out of touch with this: seek help. Okay, the fact that they don't understand that urban folks, i.e. factory workers, auto workers, teachers, police officers, nurses, students, the elderly, women, African Americans, whites, Latinos, you name it, who live in these urban areas, renewed President Obama's contract because they believe that what his policies are for the better interest of those of us who live in this country. So they need to seek help.
So how do you build on this in 2014?
Well, we got to continue to remind, because you're absolutely right. We went to sleep after 2008, and they swept us in 2010, and we cannot afford to fall asleep after this big victory. We have got to continue to forge ahead, and we certainly need the president and those in Congress not to forget those states that really pushed him through, especially Ohio. We have a lot of cleanup to do in 2014, and the president needs a Congress that he can work with. We got to remind folks. I mean, right here in the state of Ohio, even though we just went through the election process, they are here trying to defund Planned Parenthood yet again, and to pass what I call the heartless bill, the heartbeat bill, thereby effectively banning abortion in the state of Ohio. So they have not learned their lesson. We got to remind women, men who respect women, and everybody else in this country just what the GOP stands for and what they care about. And they don't care about many of us in this country at all.
Here's part of Ryan's speech on poverty. This was just a month before the election. Here it is.
Here's the problem. The welfare reform mindset hasn't been applied with equal vigor across the spectrum of our anti-poverty programs.
What do you think of that? I mean, how can he change his view on that between now and 2014 or even in the long term? I mean, are Republicans offering a credible approach to lifting people out of poverty?
Not at all, Ed. I mean, again, if you look at the state of Ohio, for example, cutting funding to K through 12 education, but yet you say that you care about children, cutting funding to local government funds, but you care about children. They don't care about the poor. And as was illustrated, and thank God the American people didn't buy it, they will say and do anything to try to win an election. But it is my sincere hope that the voters, not only of the state of Ohio, but across this country, do not forget what they stand for and what they will do. And we got to continue to work to help the president build the Congress that he needs. And we cannot forget these state elected offices. We have got to use our political clout to clean governor's mansions and state houses across this country, because it takes teamwork to make the American dream work. And that is from the White House to Congress to the state house to governor's mansions across this country. And we're going to fight it. And we learned our lesson from 2010.
And quickly, Senator, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly that on a state level in Ohio, the righties are trying to defund Planned Parenthood. I heard that correctly?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, you did, Ed. They're going to start having hearings on that tomorrow in the Ohio House. And Planned Parenthood, we did a big press conference today. They're after women yet again.
All right. Ohio State Senator Nina Turner. As you can see, the battle goes on. Thanks for joining us tonight. Coming up, a dramatic turn in the Petraeus affair. It's the shiny object the right wing was hoping for. Karen Finney will weigh in on that. Then, it's the death of traditional America. Republicans say that there are clear signs this country is just flat out falling apart. We'll let Bill O'Reilly make his party's case. Stay with us. The response you give from people when you go on the road, I think, gives you a pulse. It gives you a sensibility of where the country is on issues. You don't have to meet 1,000 people. You just have to hear all of a sudden the same narrative come back